me, Sakina, and Wynand van Vuuren, Client Experience Partner at King Price Insurance. And today we are jumping right into buildings insurance. So Wynand, say my building is bonded. Does the cover for my building insurance automatically get included in my finance agreement, or do I have to have separate cover?
No, you have to discuss that with your insurer and or with different insurers or with your broker to make sure that you get the best cover for the best premium. The finance house can never force you into a specific contract. It's important to know that.
Okay, I didn't know that. So I can choose, for example, if I want to have my building insured with company A, I don't have to go with what the bank says.
And according to the law, the finance house or the bank must inform you that you know that very clearly, that it's your prerogative where to have the property insured.
Okay, and then when it comes to having my property insured, when I apply for a bond, then the bank will value that property. Do I insure it for the same amount?
So 9 out of 10 times the bank will give you an amount for which you need to insure the property, and you will have to provide them with that confirmation of cover. If that's not the circumstances, you need to go and say, listen, okay, what is the rebuilding cost of my property with your specific finishes per square meter? You times that by the area or the building size, and then you know exactly that rebuilding cost of the whole property, that is the amount for which you need to insure your building.
Oh my word, I didn't know that. So the cost that it would be for me to rebuild that property from the foundation
finishes, yeah, because it
Okay.
can differ.
Okay, that is so interesting. And then when it comes to the building, what exactly am I covered for?
So there you need to take your policy wording and go and read and see every, happening. We call it perils, that might cause damage. What is listed there? Read your policy document, discuss it with your broker that you know exactly. But mostly you need to make sure that theft, storm damage, flooding, very important. We've seen in areas in our country, our properties are just taken away by flooding. Very important to have that in place. You get lightning damage, but all of that will be listed on your policy. Make sure that you're happy with what you pay for there.
Okay, so then when you are mentioning the perils that I'm covered for, let me give you an example. If, for you said now, we have seen some severe weather, especially in the coastal areas, what do I need to do as a client to ensure that I am covered? Or am I just covered? There's a storm, my home is flooded, I'm automatically covered.
You need to make sure that your premium is paid. That is the first important thing, to always have cover in place. And then you've got a responsibility to maintain the property.
Okay.
So a storm might do damage to your house, but if you never clean the gullies and there's a hailstorm, it doesn't go off the roof as it would have if the property was properly maintained, that might influence your cover. So make sure that you keep the property in a good nick, that the roof is properly maintained, everything on the property. So that because if maintenance is a problem and that contributes to the loss, you might have a problem when it comes to a claim.
I don't think a lot of us know that, I am a property owner, but I don't remember that I've ever climbed onto my roof.
Yeah,
but
people often make that mistake. And then when there's a maintenance issue, they want to claim from the insurance. Know that the maintenance is always the insurer's responsibility. The insurer is only liable or will only pay a claim in circumstances where there's a loss according to the perils listed on your policy, and maintenance will not be included in that.
Okay, that is very interesting. Sure. And then are there any other benefits that I enjoy? So if my home, for example, is washed away in a flood, am I just left high and dry?
Again, go back to your policy wording and see what your insurer includes. So will the fire brigade cost be included there? Fire, very important cover to have as well. I won't take the buildings cover if it doesn't include the fire. That's a big risk. So, and then there's your, if you can't stay in the property anymore, you need alternative accommodation. Does your insurer include that? For what period? Make sure that you know all those things, that you can take an informed decision before you take the insurance.
Oh my word, this adulting thing is a bit hectic, eh? There's so many things you need to make sure of. And, there's an interchange between the insurer and the insured when it comes to responsibilities. The insurer, their job is to indemnify me to the position that I was before the incident, but I also have to make sure that I maintain my property or, do everything that I can to safeguard myself or to prevent
Very
minimize
important.
loss.
And make sure that you comply with everything else that the insurer requires in the contract.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
It's a
Wynand.
pleasure, Sakina.